Hi everyone, this is Sarah with your Tech Try It for this week. We left this open at the beginning of the course to see where interest was between either digital choice boards for differentiation or SmartSuite. It looked like looking at project plans, choice boards were the better way to go, so we've curated a group of sample choice boards for you that support differentiation, and those are going to be loaded in with this task. So you have lots that you can look at, and we also really recommend that you can use them in your classroom. So we have them from kinder all the way up through 5th grade. So with that in mind, this week I'm going to show you just a really easy approach. I'm not going to complete one, but I'm going to show you a really easy approach to creating a digital choice board to support differentiation using Google Slides. So to get started, I've already opened up a couple of websites that I know I'm going to use in my choice board. And so to get started, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to be in whatever folder I want to save this choice board in. Maybe organized in your Google Classroom, on your drive, at whatever organizing structure you've decided. So I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to, excuse me, not New folder. I'm going to do, it's being a little jumpy. I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to go to Google Slides, and I'm going to go ahead and create this in the shared folder. And this is the start of it. So I'm going to keep it really simple today. You could, of course, come over here and personalize it for what you want. You guys can design the cutesy part of this. I'm just going to show you the how-to piece of this, okay? So to get started, the first thing I'm going to do is type in a title. So I'm going to call this First Grade Online Choice Board. Okay, and I'm going to call this Math Review It. And I'm using the model that we had at the end of last year. So if I look at this and I actually want to make this a little bit smaller, so it's 2 lines, I can use that reduction here, and I'm going to scoot that up. So one of my things I would first recommend is that you have a title that's easy, it kind of explains what the choice board is. I make that just a little smaller. I select it and then use my sizing to make it smaller, okay? The next thing you're going to want to do, especially for early readers, is signal that this is your home screen. I'm going to delete this subtitle here, and I'm going to go to Insert and Image, and I'm going to search the web. And I'm just going to look for the word home. I usually just pick one of the quickest ones on there at the top. I know lots of people like cute cartoony ones, so I'll put that, and click on that, and click Insert. It's going to come in pretty big. I'm going to grab the corner and I'm going to reduce the size, and I'm going to move that up here, and that's going to be a signal to kids. And when I first introduced this, I would share with them, this is our home. This is where the choice home is. Okay, so we'll be using that on the next slides in just a few minutes. So the next piece in Google Slides I really recommend is that you click on this and then click at the top in your title. It will automatically pick that title up and put it as the title of your file. So now you've named your file, so it'll be easy to find again. And then come in and click Insert and a Table. I'm going to do a 3x2 table. I'm not going to fill the entire thing in, but that's generally what I do for this. So this is going to be a choice board that's differentiated by content and also by process. So I'm going to resize this by grabbing on the corners of that and making it a little bigger, and then I just scoot it down, okay? It's a little hard to see here, so I'm going to come to my background, change the color of the background. Let's make it that light blue, that's easy on the eye, and click Done. And then I'm going to take the choice board itself, and I'm going to come over to the paint bucket, and I'm going to fill it with another color just to make it kind of jump out. If you wanted to also make the lines heavier, you can click the board itself and come in and set the lines to be just a little bit darker. So essentially you've just built your board itself. Continuing now, what you need to do is to decide what you're going to put in each section. So you had lots of resources this week on how to set up choice boards. You also had lots of information on differentiation. I mean, there's a million ways you can go. So really be creative. For this particular one, I'm going to be mirroring the ones that we did that were the end of year math reviews in Unit 8 from last year, that are also, I'm going to mention, a really great place to start. So if you've got first graders, the online choice board. If you wanted to use the first grade at the beginning of second grade, you could, but I'm going to go ahead and get this started. So I'm going to type in the I can statement, determine if an equation is true, sorry, my typing's off, or false. And I can right click and fix that. I'm going to then center that. And just to be really clear, so I don't forget, I usually go ahead and put the standard in as well. And I believe this is, let me look, 1087. So I'm going to type that in too, because then if I'm working with a para or I'm referring to an assessment or something, I can look at that really quickly. So I'll just go ahead and put that in here. Pre-readers also, though, really like those pictures. So again, I'm going to go to Insert, an image, and I'm going to look for an equal sign. And I'm just going to include one really quickly. Just pop it in there, click on it, and then click Insert, and it will come in. And then I can move it, resize it again, and move it up where it's at. Okay, so now I've got basically, that's the choices, but now I need to go and build the slide that this is going to actually link to. So on here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and I'm going to either insert a new slide here, or I could have right clicked and inserted a slide. Okay, so on this slide, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy from my first slide so I don't have to type it, and I'm going to make that now the title. So what I'm going to suggest to you is that you put a single activity or a single standard or a single type of product with different choices for what they could create on a slide. So you don't want to be overwhelming to the kids. So each choice essentially is one slide. For this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select and put in a couple of items for kids to do the process of practicing 1087. So here I'm going to color that again, and I'm going to give it a border by clicking on the border. I'm going to come back and take the home picture. I'm going to right click and copy, come back to my board and right click and paste. And I'm going to teach the kids early that this is always going to be in a specific spot. You could always put it up here, you could always put it in the corner, wherever works for you, that you're going to put that in a spot and that will always be their home. You could also insert text as well. So first thing I'm going to do is link that. So I click on the picture, and the first place I can go to link is insert link. And notice that I can either put a URL link in, but I'm going to click on slides in this presentation and click then on the drop down to first slide and apply it. Okay? And so when I'm presenting this, it should go back in. Okay, so now I just need to put some content on here, and so this differentiation is going to be the same content, 1087, but I'm going to have a different process for kids to do that they get to choose from, or maybe based on what I know about them, I might choose for them or narrow it down to a couple choices. So I'm going to just give a quick description. I'm going to put words on there, and then I'm going to, again, just to make it stand out for kids, do a bold and the paint color. Let's go ahead and set that background color again to that nice light green so it's easy on the eye, and done. And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to take a screenshot of what this game is. So we've done this before. You can use whatever tool you like in order to do this. Because I'm recording now, I've gone ahead and captured those. And then you're going to link the picture, and I would recommend also linking the text. So you just put the choices together, and then in order to link it, you're going to copy by clicking on the website's address, right click, copy, come back to your choice board, highlight the text, and then again, I showed you the insert here, but you can also go to insert link here. And rather than slides in this presentation, you'll right click and paste the URL in and apply it. This one down here, I already had that in there. Let's imagine you had the wrong link. You could just remove it with that little remove tab. right here, okay? But I'm going to practice that one more time so I can click the sign as well. I'm going to copy the address. I'm going to click the picture or the text that I want to link. Use one of those options for linking and paste that in as well. So that's now, those are both the words and the picture are hyper, okay? So I'm going to also copy over just one more so I can show you how that might look. Excuse me, remove the link. Go to Insert Text Box, place it in again. I'm going to go a little bit quicker this time. Put the words in. Okay, and so this one, the first one was working with number models and the symbols. This one is going to work with a pan balance. And so I'm going to copy the website. This is one of my favorite websites, NCTN. I'm going to insert, and I'm going to go to paste and apply. I can also take a picture of the page, as we talked about earlier, using whatever tool you have, and then you can put the link in there as well. Okay, so that's the basics of how you put content on. You can put anything on here you want. It can be dynamic. You could also do static. You don't have to have hyperlinks if that's not appropriate for you. If I look at the one that which I'll show you in just a minute, that I actually use as an example to build this, theirs looks a lot better than mine. They put a lot more time into it. Okay, one other quick tip I'm going to give you then is that you're going to come back here. You're going to now select the words, and now you're going to link to a slide in this presentation. So you have two choices. Sometimes it'll say next or last. I've only got two. Or you can actually click and scroll down to the slide number, okay? And then click apply. And I would recommend doing the same thing. Insert, link, slides in this presentation, and that's when I'll show you the next slide, okay? And so then when you're in presentation mode and kids click on it, it will bring them right to those choices. You want to always check your links, back home, check there, back home, come again, check that it opens up perfectly, and check that it opens up. So always check your links so you've got those good to go, okay? Once you know you have links that are working, let me escape out of here. I'm going to really recommend that you just copy, duplicate your slide. You're going to right click and duplicate, because then on that next one you just need to go in and put delete the things that aren't going to belong on there. You could change these words here, but really at this point you've got the structure already all set up and you can just do it again. So if I were going to type my next one, and I'm going to say I can add within 100 using math models, and I'm going to center that. Click on the line and center. I can highlight that text now and insert, and I'm going to go to slides in this presentation, and now I'm going to come down and click on slide 3 and apply, and then I can come in here and again change that title so that it matches what's going to be happening. Okay, and then I just have to edit the content. So that's essentially it. It's just hyperlinks back and forth either to exterior resources or documents and within slide presentations. The way this looked then when it was developed, theirs looks obviously quite a bit more time went into this, but they, on these math choice boards that you have, they're differentiated by both content, which is the standards, and then you go to each page has a different process or processes that the students can use to practice and refine their skills with those. So that's essentially it for working with our choice boards. You are not required to make one this week, but you are more than welcome to if it's supportive of you and what you're working on with your students. I do want to remind you that we have all of these options available for you in the course materials. So good luck this week and enjoy.